Hi, friends. Welcome to Print Live. Today I am coming live to all of you, for all of you, from the UNCCD venue. And I hope everyone can hear me clearly. The question that we are taking today is will plastic ban be effective in India? Will we be able to manage to actually effectively ban single-use plastic? For the you All of you might already be aware that the prime minister has today announced that India is going to go uh, and ban single use plastic. So he also appealed to all the other nations that are participatory of the UN convention to also implement similar bans in their own countries. So what we are looking at here is whether we ourselves are equipped to deal with something like this. Of course, the initiative is commendable, and the need to ban single-use plastics has been regularly talked about, and at the state levels, a lot of states have already banned the single-use plastics. So now, on the 2nd of October, that is when this campaign is going to officially launch, and already there has been a lot of talk about it. So please do send in your questions, whatever you may have. I will try to answer them. Before I begin taking the questions, let me give you a little bit of context about the event at which this statement was given by the Prime Minister. So, India is hosting the UN Convention to combat desertification. So, over 196 countries, actually 196 countries are party to this convention already, and we have here almost 8,000 registered delegates, and this is being called, the largest registration that has happened. So this is a big event, and representatives from across the globe are here, and that is where the prime minister has made this announcement. So okay, we have questions already, so I'm going to start taking these questions. What sort of plastic come under single use plastic? Okay, so I think this is you have your mineral water bottles, those your plastic bags, even sanitary pads. Certain kinds of sanitary pads also come into that. So in our packaging, in our regular life, we actually use a lot of single use plastics, our food containers, and things that we just consume and just throw away. And this is a consumption that can essentially be reduced, and that is exactly what the government is looking at. uh, what do you Okay, I have already taken, that's what I explained. What do you understand by single use plastic? um, Okay, another question that we have is how is plastic related to desertification? So that is what the PM also explained at the event today, that plastic is a part of a lot of other problems that the climate that the whole world is facing right now. So one of the first things that happens is when these plastics go into our drainage systems, and then they enter the ocean systems and choke our marine animals. So we have, the internet is full of heartbreaking pictures of animals either choking on plastic or trapped inside plastic. So those are things that we want to combat. But apart from that, there are also reports of plastics breaking down into microplastics, into tiny bits that enter our food systems, that enter our irrigation systems, and therefore pollute our soil. So this is one of the aspects of desertification that can be like combated with the ban on plastic. So the next question is, what is India's plan to combat desertification apart from banning single-use plastics? Are there any other steps we are taking? Actually, there are a lot of steps, a lot of initiatives that have happened over the past years. Remember today, the prime minister and the environment minister, both of them said that we have set a target of restoring 26 million hectares of degraded land. According to the data that has been collected by a ISRO study in 2016, almost 98 million hectares of India's land is already degraded, and that amounts to about I believe that's about two-third of one-third of our available land. So this is a problem in a lot of ways. So that's the target that we have set. So a number of initiatives are already in place. We have a initiative to manage rainwater through something called a watershed program, which basically catches or redirects rainwater in a way that a local land that is a rain-fed area can use that water instead of that water flowing away, and use that water for irrigation. And that reduces the need to have water irrigation, which again has been pointed out that water irrigation, because of pumps and because of the different kinds of overusage, is a contributor to land degradation and also has a carbon footprint. So watershed initiatives, on the other hand, is what can reduce both the carbon footprint as well as make sure that our groundwater is restored, and the rainwater that we is easily available actually goes to all the farms that require them. Then the second thing is what is called ecological restoration. A lot of scientists, a lot of institutions, and research bodies have been working on actually restoring forests, viable forests, not just planting isolated saplings, but having viable ecosystems in lands that were used for mining and have been abandoned now. So these are things that are already happening at the ground level. So recently, the Environment Ministry also said that they are going to streamline all the existing water initiatives, water schemes, everything related to farming into this umbrella of desertification, so that all the extra existing schemes can help fight this problem. So the next question is it even practical to ban single-use plastic? This is actually a good question, and in fact, I just before this we had a press conference with Javadekar, and that's where I had asked this question: whether we are in a position to cater to that demand that will arise for eco-friendly products when this plastic is banned. Because remember, plastic is very present in all aspects of our life. Whether we are actually in that position to completely do away with it. From what I have understood so far from his answer, and something that the PM also said during his speech, that the focus is on changing behavior. So they are looking at reducing the consumption at the population's level. It's more about us as citizens rising up to this challenge to stop the use of single use plastics. So whether we have a comprehensive plan on how alternatives for this single-use plastics will be provided, whether there'll be imposition of some kind of a fine, or if there is a plan to manage this waste, to take out the plastic that is already in the circulation right now. These are things that will only become clear on October 2nd. That is when this initiative is going to be officially launched. Uh, the next, can you give the best possible alternatives with minimum cost, which can replace plastics? This question is from Bhaskar. Bhaskar, this is something that that Meenakshi Lekhi actually recently said in one event, where she talks about how Indians have always had a very sustainable life, and we have a habit of reusing, like we reuse old clothes at home. She in fact gave an example of never having used plastic bottles when she was young, instead having water from with cupped hands from directly from taps. So as you can see, so these are little things, these are little behavior changes, even the PM used the word behavioral changes that we can bring into our lives to change our approach of using anything that has to be thrown away after single use. Uh, so the, alternatives to single use like so yeah, this is what I am saying. Again, for what about plastic, which is already polluting? Yes. So this again is unclear. I today raised this question at the press conference too. So let me tell you this, that we do have isolated initiatives of different research institutes who are working on how to put waste plastic into other uses. CSIR has an initiative, and they have set up a plant in Dehradun which can convert plastic into biodiesel. So these are the kind of things that we are already doing in different levels at a much smaller localized level. So whether there is a central comprehensive plan will again only become clear after October 2. Developed countries do use plastics of higher quality, be it US, Australia, Canada. Can India transition towards that kind of plastic which is biodegradable? Uh, See, again, this is something that once this ban is imposed, right now, because a single-use plastic is cheap and easily available, it is something that is used more often. Once this ban is in place, we can expect that. Let me tell you, these technologies do exist, and there are, not just biodegradable plastic. There are other options. There are other technologies that can be brought into the market, but the incentive to do that is lacking because, as you know, plastic is the cheapest. And even now, if you go to any shopping center, get a cloth bag that costs you an extra $10. Plastic is something that is available everywhere. So we hope that this ban might be able to help people transition, but the implementation is what is key. So if we do not have that, and that is only going to become clear when this is officially launched. Okay, how can we replace plastic containers when you order food via Swiggy? Right, substitutes for plastic containers in food business. Right. So again, whether the government has a plan on this is not clear. In news reports that have come before this, Bisleri and even these companies that regularly use plastic bottles to sell their products have raised this question that whether they will be fine and whether this is something that they will need to work on. There are certain kinds of plastics, the PET that we use in bottles, in Coke bottles and water bottles. Those are recyclable, and there are companies who do that. So again, this as of now, it seems that the government is shifting the onus of responsibility on the companies and the people. And so whether, I don't think the government is going to provide with the substitutes. It's going to give incentives for those substitutes to come into the market. Do we have more questions? All right, alternatives. Yeah, this is what keeps coming up. Alternatives at minimum cost. So remember, like for plastic straws, a lot of companies have already implemented that. We do not get plastic straws in a lot of these food chains. So there are alternatives like paper straws, and some innovative startups have begun to use bamboo straws, and someone had even suggested a pasta straw. So these are things that will develop once the need for this alternative arises. It's not that it's not there; it's under uh, development. A lot of companies are there providing this. There's a demand also for such products. There are a lot of events that do not allow plastic products, and voluntarily impose that ban. So it's not that it's not possible. It is. What can be done with the plastic that is already there? Again, this is something that one, there is a certain kind of plastics that can be recycled. I talked about the biodiesel plant that can turn plastic into fuel. So those things are there. Is using plastic bags made of leaves a feasible alternative? I'm not sure what you mean by plastic bags made of leaves, but paper bags are an alternative, and those again are in use. So like I said, the focus is on changing the behavior from not using single use products, be it plastic, and in fact, be it any other kind of product. So I think there are still a lot of questions coming in, but I think we have to wrap it up right now. So I hope I have been able to answer as much as I could. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining me here at the UNCCD, and I will continue to bring plenty of stories. It's a vibrant event. People from all over the world are here, and so please do subscribe to our channel. We do live videos every day on the the issue of the day, and do share our videos as well. Thank you so much.